my name is Belinda Dubston and welcome to the I Ching Cafe and our weekly overview for the week commencing the 11th of January 2021. Right, as we started off this year, there were new episodes on the 2021 overview and January's particular focus of tapping into the well, being patient and understanding this new risk, this new flow we're being asked to jump into. So let's first have a look at last week. We had the week for January the 4th. We had great power, 34, and getting stuck and getting opportunities to go at the same time, different areas perhaps, as well as being asked through Hexagram 26 to focus on the most important thing and to rally all our energy and focus around accumulating our power behind one central idea, one central focus point. So this week, the 11th of January, we start off our week. Our first hexagram, flow of change, thing to pay attention to is hexagram 52, keeping still. Keeping still is a hexagram, it's a doubling of mountain. Okay, so it's an intensifying of mountain energy, which is about resting, bringing things to a close, stopping, stilling, calming, stabilizing. So usually this hexagram comes up when we need to close things off. We want to slow down and we want to pause and we want to meditate and be calm and stabilize. This is not an energy where we ramp up and we generate and we birth things. This is a time of resting things, bringing things to a close, ending a cycle and doing what we need to do that. So this week we're being asked to do that. Perhaps for you this is about meditating, calming and stabilizing the mind if you're going through a lot of stress. Perhaps it's about finishing something off, stabilizing perhaps a routine in your life or some process that needs to go into a rhythm or needs to come into a structure and calm down. So for you, look in your life as to where you need to bring things to a close, to calm, to stabilize, and where meditation of whatever kind works for you can help in stabilizing your energy this week. We have two changing lines, which means we have two powerful little pops of change to help us maximize the flow of the week. And those take place in position 1 and 2. Okay, so our first changing line, the first thing we're asked to pay attention to specifically this week is that we have a compulsion to take action. We talk about stabilizing the toes before the toes have stepped. Before we have taken the step, we stabilize and stop the compulsion. So this might relate to you for a particular thing that you feel you want to do, or you've been feeling like you want to take action on something. And it's a thought process, it hasn't yet translated into action in the body. The toes haven't started to step in the direction. And the I Ching is saying, whoa, stop. Be very, very cautious of acting on the impulse that you're thinking about. So this week, is there something new you've been wanting to do or something that's been sitting in your mind that's maybe a little bit left center, or you've been wanting to kind of push out in a particular direction? We've had an idea. And this week, the I Ching is saying, just caution, caution, caution. Rather let that idea sit as an idea and percolate for now, rather than taking action now. The I Ching never says to us, you can't do something. You decide what you want to do with your life. You trust your life and your cycles that you are going through. Yet there's something in this week where we all are wanting to act, we're wanting to push on an issue that we thought was a really good idea, and the time is not right to do that now. Timing is everything. So just be aware of your internal process, the compulsions or the ideas you feel compelled to act on. Just whoa, pull back for now. The second changing line says that movement is in the calves. And you talk about, when we think of this hexagram, of movement happening in different parts of the body and where we need to bring stillness to different parts of the body. So the first changing line was the toes, the next one is the calves. And when someone's walking along and the calves suddenly stop, the whole body is tethered to your calves, right? You're going to pivot over and fall over. So this second changing line says, you need to keep your eyes open where you need to stop. Where you go, whoa, okay, stop walking. Just pause, stop, stabilize, calm, stop, okay? And people around you are refusing to listen to the calls for stopping. And they just keep on going. And what's going to happen is the body falls over. You cannot take responsibility for other people not heeding the calls and pushing ahead when the time is not right. You can shout as much as you like. You can share this episode. You can bleat. You can do whatever you like. At the end of the day, if someone is not willing to hear the calls to stop, stabilize, calm, and settle, they're not going to do it. And you've got to kind of watch them in slow motion fall over their feet as they tumble forward through the misstep. So this week is you pay attention for yourself where you hear those calls to stop and stabilize. You listen. You take action to halt your movement, whatever that means, emotional movement, mental movement, physical movement, but you cannot help somebody else who's hell-bent on doing that and making progress at every cost. So be at peace with that process. Our outcome hexagram, our second relating flow of change for this week that we're being asked to pay attention to, is once again hexagram 26, the taming power of the great. Last week, this is how we ended the week last week. Isn't that amazing? We've been asked and paid attention to still focus. Rally all our energy around a focused single idea. Be mobile in doing that. Focus, pay attention, gather our energy. And it's almost like when you look at a Qigong master or Tai Chi, there's very subtle movements, but it's really focused and concentrated force. You know, any kind of martial art, judo, karate, it's all that idea of like you're using force, but it's really focused. Okay, and that's the idea of this taming power of the great. It's like using the great power, the taming power of it. Tame it, focus it. Now we have this mountain with this heaven energy. This power that wants to move up is being trapped by the fixed, rigid mountain on the top. It's being harnessed and focused and built up. And that's what we need to do this week. So 2 weeks in a row, this is an ongoing thread for us to pay attention to focus, focus, focus on the central idea that's really important. So even write focus on your wall in front of you where you work or on your fridge. Focus, focus, focus. This is really important to get the year going in the right way for us. I look forward to seeing you again on our weekly overview. And of course, if you've not yet done so, our monthly and our annual overview will provide context that we'll tap into throughout the year. Please subscribe, like, share, comment. We're really great to hear from you if you have any questions at all. I look forward to engaging with you on the different platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You're welcome to post comments and questions there as well. And look forward to working with you there too. See you soon.